Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. So, the debates. hmm Thought it would be worthwhile just taking a minute to go over kind of what's been going on the whole year, but especially with last night being the first Democratic debate. It's interesting. I'm at a point in my life where I actually give a shit about this stuff. I've never honestly followed politics ever a day in my life. And I started following these ones this year with no intention to care. I care a lot more than I did. I was influenced a lot via Russell Brand and the Trues and him talking about not voting and taking a stance and kind of throwing it um, in the face of politicians and older generations and just say, we realize that there is no power for the people. We are not taking our power by voting. And I liked that idea showing how politics are just bought and paid for. And the politicians are just puppets and lip service. And I liked that whole idea. But getting into and watching these politicians debate and feeling smarter than 80% of them, I started to get nervous. Like, you shouldn't feel more intelligent than your soon to be presidential candidates. It's just frightening. So, I don't really spend much time talking about the Republican side. I'm not anti Republican in any way. I have a lot of Republican friends. I don't think that being a Republican is a bad thing. I just think that if you're identifying with any of the candidates running for the Republican nominee, you're gross. And I don't think that we see things the same, and I don't necessarily want to sit and listen to the reasonings behind why someone agrees with a hate monger, because all they're doing is speaking hate, and I'm kind of tired of listening to it. Honestly, I appreciate Donald Trump for his being honest and calling out politicians, calling out media, calling out the things that are fake. I appreciate that. However, he's a racist, a sexist, and he's not capable of feigning a respect for everyone who lives in this country. And I'm sorry, I don't want the leader of this country to be somebody who's any of those bad traits. That's, I mean, and he's the best that the Republican nominees have to give. It's a bad sign. So if you're Republican, sorry, but take several seats on this one. Like, you don't have it. And then on the Democratic side, I mean, I'm all for getting rid of bipartisanship. Honestly, this whole two-party deal, Democrats, Republicans, it sucks anyway. I don't think us millennials should view the world like that. I think we should have a view of, I like this candidate for this reason, I like this candidate for this reason. Let's see who is for the people, who's going to work hardest for us. I don't think it should be who do the companies and people of interest pay off for this candidate versus this one. It's just silly. Like, this is a game we've been stuck in a while. Let's wake up. Like, it's time. So it's cool looking at the Democratic side only for the reason I was in '08. I was a staunch Hillary Clinton supporter. I wanted her to sweep. I wasn't an Obama fan at all. Like, I was really 100% Hillary. And then when she lost that nom, I was disappointed. But now things changed. It's 8 years later, and I'm not seeing the benefits of a Hillary presidency anymore. I thought the idea of a woman in office was a great thing. I still do. I just don't think it's her. And she's not relatable. And she's been told this for a long time. And she hasn't done anything. She reminds me of a mom, in a sense. Just somebody who doesn't want to beat around the bush, doesn't want to talk to the people, wants to work. She seems like a worker ant. Like, she knows how to do the job. I'll give her that. But there's just something about going back to a Clinton. We need new blood. We need a fresh start. And honestly, all money's riding on Bernie. Bernie Sanders for the win, man. Feel that burn, because honestly, he's the only hope. He's the only one in there for the people. He has the support that he needs, and the media just won't talk about him, which drives everyone I know nuts, because he is an amazing guy. He has stood up for people left and right. different minority groups across the board. I mean, he's a stand-up guy, and when the worst cons about you that people can list are your age and the fact that they deem you a socialist, which I'm sorry, America is a socialist country. People are just scared of that word for some reason. We are that. Socialism is just a social and economic system characterized as the society owning and managing the economy. That's all it is. It's basically saying everybody work together, everybody do your part, checks and balances, make sure we're all doing everything we're supposed to, and kind of stay out of each other's way. I mean, are we interpreting this incorrectly? What's happening? Like, it's weird that people are coming down on him for being a socialist. It's not a bad thing. Any sort of government, just like any sort of religion, those starting off with a good ideal can go bad if corrupt, and usually that's with wealth. So honestly, you can look at any type democratic government. It works here sorta where we need to grow. We need to expand what democratic government means. But then, you have other types of socialist government is just social ownership and social management of the economy. And that's what we want. People demand a voice. Bernie wants you to have that. It's not a bad trait. He's 74. He's a socialist. I think they call him out for being a Jew and from Brooklyn. He has that thick Brooklyn accent. I'm sorry, all of those are heavy pros for me. And the one thing I will say, it was very refreshing watching the Democratic debate and not seeing the bickering. At least they're all up there doing their damn job. And that I can respect. It's not a smoke and mirror show. It's you know what? This is what I stand for. I disagree with you for this reason. Let me show you why I stand by my ideals. Where the Republican Party, it's just mudslinging. And the funny thing, they're mudslinging at each other, but some of that mud is missing them and going on to their fucking voters. Like, how are you going to sit and, marginalize these people in these, the Hispanic voter, the female voter, the gay voter? You're pushing people out who live here. Like, stop. You can't be the leader of a country when you cherry pick who you like in that country. You're gross. You're gross. Anywho, okay, don't want this to get too long, so I'll bid you adieu. But yeah, leave a comment or make a video or an opinion on what you think about this election so far. Have you not really thought about it much because it's still a year away, and why bother? So much stuff is going to change in the next year. I don't blame people for not getting invested in anything political so far. Like, I completely understand. I think I'm interested just because it caught my interest, honestly. So it'd be cool to discuss some issues that, are coming up for the political race, but it would be cool to hear what you guys think. So leave a comment below and do that.